a lot of folks have assumed that money was taken, and unfortunately that's not the case. It was money that was never there.
It is, though, the talk of Taylorsville tonight, a budget blunder that's going to lead to even more cuts across a county school district. The superintendent there saying that a wrong revenue projection off by $1.5 million is turning into dramatic cuts. And it's our top story for you at 5. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. WHAS11's Conroy DeLuche and photojournalist Jessica Farley talked with two parents concerned about how this could affect their kids.
It was kind of gut-wrenching.
A letter addressed to all connected to Spencer County schools outlined a financial problem.
I started hearing rumors about 2 weeks ago.
Just thinking about the $1.5 million, any idea how exactly that happened?
It was a mistake and a costly one.
Superintendent Dr. Willie Foster says the newly hired chief financial officer caught an error in revenue projections before the end of September. He says the mistake reflected more revenue than the district had. Now they're making adjustments. The superintendent says that the Spencer County Schools District has already chosen to not buy new school buses for this school year, and they won't be buying new ones next school year either.
We have a one-to-one initiative with Chromebooks. We had to pull those out of the budget. All operating budgets were reduced by a minimum of 20%.
Another cost? Personnel, teachers, staff, anyone who works for the district. At the last school board meeting, as many as 35 positions were brought up as potential cuts. At the next meeting, Tuesday, the superintendent will present his preliminary staffing plan, which the board would have to approve from the classroom to central office.
We have a chief academic officer and a chief of student supports. Those two positions will be reduced to one assistant superintendent. So that number 35 reflects everything.
Two parents we spoke with are concerned about class size and after-school programs.
If we lose these after-school programs, then a lot of us parents are going to be struggling to work around our work hours versus school hours.
The education that they're receiving might suffer if we have to let teachers go and the class sizes change.
One of the things that's been discouraging about this is it's coming at a time where academically we're thriving like we've never thrived before, and we'll work through it.
Both parents say they will be at the next meeting.
It's going to affect really everybody.
Hoping short-term pain does not mean long-term harm for their kids in the classroom and beyond. In Spencer County, Conroy DeLuche, WHAS11, on your side.
Dr. Foster says after discussing possible salary freezes for the next school year, those are now off the table.
He told us the salary freeze will not be proposed, though, at tomorrow night's board meeting, which starts at 6 o'clock in Taylorsville.
Now to the story having a ripple effect across our country, the monster blizzard slamming the Northeast with up to 2 feet of snow in some areas, coming down 3 inches an hour also in some places. The high-impact bomb cyclone is bringing blizzard conditions, heavy snow, and damaging winds. This live look for you right now. The snow's still falling there, and trucks trying to go down the roads, coming to us courtesy of EarthCam Live tonight.
On the top there, you can see Port Jefferson, New York, and Mystic, Connecticut. The bottom row showing Seaside Heights, New Jersey, and Times Square in New York City. The storm's so bad, New York City's mayor is urging residents to stay home.
It is going well in that many New Yorkers are staying home, and we appreciate that because these are dangerous conditions. The mixture of this kind of snow with this kind of wind is something that can lead to a lot of danger on our streets and our roads. And so we're saying, unless you're emergency personnel, unless you have to be outside for some of the work that you're doing, we ask New Yorkers to stay inside.
And this is the biggest snowstorm New York City has seen in years.
In fact, the first time in about 10 years, they've had a blizzard emergency issued for New York City. We're going to have an even bigger look for you at this major winter storm, the monster blizzard, coming up on your travel at 5:30. We had snow flurries around here today, but it had nothing to do with what is hitting New York City.
Yeah,
there it is, Connie, swirling up around Boston.
Wow, and those images are just incredible.
Oh, I know it. Can you imagine? It's coming. But the power outages are really increasing. I saw the latest figure, well over 650,000 without power in the Northeast. Austin, I know you're breaking down sort of the storm track.
Yeah, and just to do some quick math, 3 inches an hour equates to a foot every 4 hours. And though the snow didn't stay at 3 inches an hour the whole time, that's a lot of snow very quickly. Thankfully, not seeing that here. We could not handle quite that much snow very easily, but it's still been breezy and cold, and we've been dealing with some flurries passing through. We're tracking widespread rain that'll move in for Thursday. All day Thursday. We'll begin a warming trend tomorrow, though we'll stay breezy. Here's a quick look at our TriMark 4-box cameras here. Everything moving relatively smoothly. It's Monday, so let's hopefully keep it that way. You don't want to get in an accident on Monday, you know, on top of it being a Monday. And the cloudy skies just won't go away. As seen from our First Savings Bank Louisville Health Jeffersonville camera, we're in the lower 30s, upper 20s across Kentuckiana, though it feels a lot colder thanks to that breeze that's moving through. That breeze gusting up to 20 miles per hour right now. That's reset right at the top of the hour. We got new numbers in, but we've seen it gust up to 26 miles per hour not too long ago. The flurry is still passing through. Very little impacts from this other than decreasing visibility probably near Frankfort right now. It looks like we'll see some clearing of the skies tonight as temperatures drop into the lower 20s and upper teens for overnight lows, though the cloud cover will increase once again tomorrow with breezy conditions sticking around. Details on this rain chance coming up in just a few minutes.
Austin, thank you. Right now, continuing coverage tonight of the woman who was killed during an alley cleanup here in Metro Louisville back on February 12th.
Now homeless outreach groups say Metro Louisville needs to change its policies so it doesn't happen again. Groups like Vocal Kentucky, Hip Hop Cares, and the Arthur Street Hotel met behind the Food Mart at 26th Street and West Muhammad Ali Boulevard, where Tyra Adams was seriously injured. She then later died at the hospital.
The city says Adams died after machinery on a Public Works garbage truck picked her up while they were moving trash. Jennifer Twyman with Vocal Kentucky says they need more cameras on these trucks.
So that's a definite policy we want put in place, that all sanitation equipment have inward and outward facing cameras that have accessible footage for something like this.
We also emailed the mayor's office and Public Works today asking about the current policies, what they are around those cameras in these trucks. We're waiting to hear back. We'll certainly give you that answer once we get it.
Tonight, the Kentuckiana community is remembering Rondale Moore and the memories he created on the football field.
The Trinity and New Albany star was found dead in southern Indiana from what police are calling a suspected suicide. Friends of Moore are now telling his story, reflecting on how special he was on and off the field.
Male alumni Isaiah Cummings, who went on to play at U of L and UK, trained with Moore. And he says his work ethic was second to none. And Moore's legacy will be etched in Louisville sports history.
He was a hometown hero. That's what I'll remember him as. He was an ultimate competitor. Probably one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. So, like, I always try to, mirror my game, even though he was, a smaller opponent, but I still try to take something out of his game to bring into mine. So I mean, he will be remembered as one of the best players that was born here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, after playing at Purdue, Moore was drafted in the second round by the Cardinals, where he had over 1,200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also played for the Falcons and the Vikings. And if you or anyone you know is struggling with any thoughts of self-harm or suicide, please call the number that's on your screen there. Someone is always there to talk. That number, 988.
More top stories for you tonight at 5 o'clock. An elderly northeastern Kentucky woman is back home and receiving care after she was found with a former caregiver who now is facing kidnapping charges in this case. The woman, 83-year-old Gail Crane, is said to live alone on a patch of farmland near Mayslick, Kentucky. That's just over an hour northeast of Lexington. A friend reported Crane missing, and police later called Crane's former caretaker, Rita Lang. Lang denied that Crane was with her, but both the fire department and the sheriff's office felt that something was off, and so they called police in Frankfort.
They jumped right on it. I wanted them to try to get eyes on to see if Miss Crane was with Miss Lang, and they found the vehicle we were looking for. They attempted to make a traffic stop. The vehicle fled. There was a pursuit. Eventually, the vehicle stopped, and they made contact with Miss Lang, who stated that our missing person was in her car.
County Sheriff says Crane was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and was safely returned home. He says without that wellness check, Crane could have been taken a lot further.
Today, Norton Healthcare reached a settlement in a class action lawsuit that stemmed from a major data breach in 2023. The settlement totaling millions of dollars in payments. The breach compromised roughly 2.5 million individuals' personal information, including social security numbers and financial account numbers. According to a preliminary agreement reached today, Norton Healthcare has set aside $11 million to issue payments in that settlement. If you are impacted by the breach, you must fill out an online form by Monday, May 18th through Norton's website. The court has scheduled a final approval hearing for May 15th.
Countdown now underway to Thunder over Louisville. This year's theme is going to be Thunder in the USA. The Kentucky Derby Festival making the announcement this morning. According to KDF, the theme will highlight the best of the country as we celebrate America's 250th birthday, the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Major floods canceled last year's Thunder for the second time in the event's history. Governor Andy Beshear, appearing in Louisville today for the announcement, says we just missed 1 year of Thunder doesn't mean the tradition will end.
It's an opportunity to celebrate old traditions and to make new friends every single year. And getting to bring Thunder back this year feels like reuniting with an old friend.
You can expect the air show, a drone show, and one of the country's largest fireworks displays. The 37th Thunder over Louisville is set for Saturday, April 18th.
A violent weekend in Mexico as authorities say the nation's biggest cartel leader was killed. Popular tourist destinations being impacted, leaving Americans stranded.
And here's your Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers right now. Mega Millions sitting at $438 million. Powerball, $203 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.